innovative cooking. Innovation. Now, in this time of COVID-19, we really need to have more innovation, such as cooking lessons, or hey, if you're the cook that knows how to cook everything, but you've been working a lot lately before the COVID-19 shutdown, breakdown, and slow you down, keep you home more, social distance time period, you might want to brush up a little bit on your cooking. So right here I have some shredded cheese, cheddar, mild, no salt added, just, use what you want. And in this pot I have the macaroni, which is not boiling as it should. I just turned it down because it's the consistency I want. I'm about to drain it so that I can incorporate it with the cheese and the milk that I'm going to use, and the butter, which I'm only going to see it's only half done, which is the way I like it, before I put it in the oven. Let's see. It's soft, but it's not done. So I definitely am not going to put it in the oven right now. I'm going to let it cook a little more. I'm going to turn this up just a little bit more again. And in this pot right here, this skillet, this orange skillet I have, searing a pork loin. And as you can see, it's quite lean, except that underneath the part that it's laying on, that's where the thin layer of fat is. And it's actually sticking. As you can see, there's really no oil in this pan, okay, except the natural juices that's coming off of this. See, as you can see, it's a very thin layer. It's not a thick layer of fat, very thin. This is a very lean piece of meat, so I'm going to lay it back down on that fat side and let it sear on a slow motion kind of way. Actually, searing is a fast heat, but this right here, I'm going to do it this way because there's no fat on this side, and I don't want a hard piece of meat. So we're just going to let it, and I don't want a thick piece of, even though it's thin, like I said, you can see how thin that fat is. It's still, I want it to kind of melt down so that it can cook in its own juice, and I don't have to add any oil to the pan or anything like that, because that's not what I want to do. Alright? Because while we're home doing, catching up on our cooking, some people work at home on their computers, going to school at home, young students, college. Maybe you're on your own, whatever. Or maybe you're an older person that's been there and done all of that, and, maybe you just retired and you need a little extra touch-up. Okay? Because we can't just keep going to all the restaurants every day. So in this pot, in this skillet, I have apples that have been chopped, peeled, washed off, with a quarter of a cup of sugar and 2 tabs of butter, which would be 2 teaspoons. I'm just gonna let that melt itself down, like kind of, get real good and yummy. And then I'm gonna make a very soft pastry to roll them up in and bake them. Like apple turnovers, except they're not going to be fried. Now I need to turn this back up because I don't hear it, and it needs to cook now. And I don't want to cook it too fast. So I'm going to let everything finish doing what it needs to do. And this will be part 1. Let's turn this back up. I'm going to put this on 7 right now. Get it hot. And then leave it on medium. I'm going to have to cover it because it kind of makes a mess. It splatters out of the pan, because this is a shallow pan. You can use any seasonings you'd like. I use parsley, garlic, a pinch of salt, I didn't use any pepper yet. I'm going to use a dried red pepper that I have. And you know it's going to be hot. I got to chop that up. See that dry red pepper? I dried it. I grew it. I had grew a few. Used a few while they were in their natural state. And I dried a couple. So I'm going to have to cut that up. And I won't put it in right now, because I don't want it to be like burned. And so now everything is back on track. And I'm going to shut that down a little slower. Let that go a little smoother. So I want it to be really good, like a caramel inside of there a little bit. All right, let's see what happens. Part 1. Dinner at home. COVID-19 safe.